We're ready.
Welcome. This is Debris Girls Talk Trash.
A podcast dedicated to things trash.
We're here with our first podcast, live on location. Hopefully you notice the debris behind us. We're passionate about all things debris and trash. I'm Sharon, Debris Girl.
I'm Alex, Debris Girl number 2. Now, I do think it's fitting that we're actually sitting in amongst trash as we talk trash. Both the trash of the literal kind and the figurative kind. Now, since this is our very first podcast, I do think that we should probably get into why trash, Sharon? Why trash? Why Debris Girls?
It's an excellent question. So it all started, we have to harken back
Yes.
to May.
Rewind the clock.
May 2024, the long weekend. We found ourselves on the ground collecting trash at a very elite location. And I think we did so well with it, and it was such a good experience that's where my passion started.
Yeah, I obviously was in the same area, and we were just there together picking up this trash, and it just felt like there was more to it than the trash itself. Like, I knew our job was so minuscule compared to the fellows on the roof actually doing the job. But without us picking up that trash, it wouldn't have been the same. And then through the picking up of the trash, the purpose really came out that we collaborated together, and we're like, well, this could be a thing. And we coined our, what would you call us? Not a slogan. It's just like our
brand,
our title, our brand. The Debris Girls.
Debris Girls.
We've kind of slowly been building since May, actually. And as you see this pile back here, a Debris Girl should probably take care of that. But the Debris Girls have actually kind of been a little bit, how do I say this? One of us kind of one-sided these days because, Sharon, what did you do?
So I took a little bit of a spill and had to have some surgery, and now I can't weight bear, and it's very hard to pick up trash one-legged.
So yeah, due to the broken ankle, as I was picking up a bunch of debris at Sharon's new house, we were just chatting, and we're like, oh my God, we should start a podcast. Also, what was the inspiration for the podcast, Sharon?
What was the inspiration for the podcast? Do I remember this?
We are sitting in them right now.
Oh, it was! Sorry, guys. So you can see these fabulous chairs. There is a couch that will enter podcast episode maybe 2 or 3. But I found these fabulous couches and chairs on Facebook Marketplace, and I wanted a little bit of color in my life. So I purchased them, and they were actually the very first thing I put into my new house, knowing that they would probably get a little trashy with all the construction that had to happen. But we came in one day, and we were sitting on the couches, and Alex said, man, this feels like a podcast. That's where it started.
And now we're here. So this is our very first podcast. As you can probably tell, we are rookie AF.
Yeah, and we're okay with it.
Yeah, but we did get microphones.
We did.
So one of our many segments that we've kind of been brainstorming on is trash or treasure. So this is kind of, we're going to get into that, but this is kind of our first inaugural test of, is the microphone trash or is it treasure? Time will tell.
Time will tell. Though, we did do a quick test before we hit record, and based solely on that 13 seconds, I'm going to predict that these are a hell of a treasure.
Yeah, for what I pay, $18.50. I have no idea what the battery life is. Yours is still green.
Yours is still green.
So that's good. But yeah, to be determined. So that's all it costed us to get into this was $18.50.
Yeah.
Super high stakes.
In a $250,000 house.
Yeah. So I guess we know the price of the house too now. So I guess we kind of briefly talked on it, but I feel like we should just get a little bit into why we're so passionate about trash and debris. We were inspired in the mountains, but really,
we were.
But
we didn't stop there. It didn't stop
there. It obviously continued to speak to us. So, what does trash mean to you, Sharon?
Well, when I think about trash, I think both figuratively and literally. When I think about the figurative trash, the thing that comes to mind very quickly is trash TV, right?
I do love me some trash TV.
Right? I don't think there's anything better than just to sit down with a couple trash episodes. Generally, reality TV is what I would call trash TV, although there's been some others. But I really like trash TV. I also really like trashing people.
Ooh,
Okay,
spicy,
right?
spicy.
So I tend to lean towards the figurative, but I also think there is nothing better than taking out a load of trash after you've done a project, right? When that's like the final piece, when it's all gone and everything's cleaned up. And I love that I get to be responsible for that as a debris girl.
Yeah, there is some power to that actually in the title of Debris Girl. Just taking out that trash, whether it's like literal trash or a human being, just taking out the trash. So yeah, for me, my passion of trash probably started a long time ago. I feel like I've kept a lot of trash in my life. Just kidding, just kidding. I have a lot of good people in my life. Well, some baggage though just sticks around and never leaves.
You make a podcast with it.
That's a whole episode in and of itself. The baggage that never leaves, and I don't even have advice for how to get rid of it, but nonetheless. So I do also enjoy literally taking out the trash and cleaning up a big pile. I feel like that pile right there, nothing more satisfying. Like when we smashed a wall, that was also in the process of this house, and picking up that drywall and just sweeping and being like, "Woo, clean floor again." Super fantastic. Yeah, I also, though, you know what you didn't say, Sharon, which I know you are passionate about, is when you may or may not dump in a dumpster.
Oh.
And you literally take out the trash for a treasure.
Dumpster diving.
Dumpster diving, which, again, we don't have time for this inaugural podcast, but that might be
That'll
something
be a
that comes
segment.
up in the future.
We are bordering on pros at dumpster diving at this point.
Yeah, and you know, we actually have a true expert that we probably will bring in in the future. We're thinking guests and all that. But yeah, we do have one up our sleeves that I think is a true expertise, and he has found several treasures in amongst the trash. So yeah, debris doesn't mean just taking it out. We might be pulling it back in.
We might be.
Yeah. So moving forward here, we got a couple segments that we'd like to get into for this episode. Now, I don't think this is gonna be a long episode, just enough to like get our feet wet.
Yeah.
And
get your feet wet?
Yeah, get your feet wet, whether you like it or not. That's up to you. I just want to say, check out our Instagram. That's probably how you found this, though. So if you found this, you probably found our Instagram. But if not, we're Debris Girls.
Click like and follow below.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really a thing.
Subscribe. Yeah. So first segment, which I'd like to get into, trash or treasure. Now we've kind of briefly touched on this, the microphones. I am here for how cute it is.
It is very cutesy.
I'm a little bit worried how close your microphone is to your chin and whether it's going every time it hits. Well, there has been points.
Oh, yeah, put it lower. Look, I'm a novice. It's blinking. Why is it blinking? What have I done? Probably.
Well, hopefully she didn't screw it up. Yeah, I'm here for it. So we'll see how long the batteries last. So far, I am claiming it a treasure.
I think so too. I'm predicting treasure for this one.
Yeah. For
better?
The cost of that's much better. Okay. For the cost of $18.50, I don't think you can go wrong. Yeah, 2 microphones, an attachment for my phone, charging cord. Thanks,
I think it's going to be a treasure.
And Jeff Bezos. Is that who owns Amazon?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to thank him though.
Yeah, so moving on from Jeff Bezos.
Talking about trash.
Jeff Bezos is what? We don't have time for that.
It's another segment.
So moving into this house, there is a whole story behind the house, and we should probably spend a whole episode on just the house. Do you have a name for the house yet?
No.
Oh,
that could be
could be. Yeah, okay. So when we get a name for the house, we're going to completely dive in. But there's a lot of stories about the house, even just from like day one when they were trying to get the keys. But one story that has come up that has like played a little bit of a mystery to us is we had a big giant lens hauling disposal bin out back, which was we were carrying all of our debris to. Big passionate about big bins, throwing my things.
We like big bins.
And I cannot lie. And we were out there the other day taking my shingles, and lo and behold, did we come across something.
A shopping cart.
A shopping cart. And
it wasn't empty.
It wasn't empty. It was a nice, quaint shopping cart. I did enjoy the size of the shopping cart. One of those quaint ones like from Shoppers or something, maybe.
Mini Marty.
Yeah, and I don't actually know how you get them out because usually there's a pole.
I'm not sure.
So
Might be an
now,
OG one.
so now this shopping cart is living in Sharon's garage, and we have the task of solving the mystery of where did the shopping cart
You
come
could
from.
call us debris detectives.
So let us introduce you to the segment of Debris Detectives. Evidence number 1. Shopping cart was in the back alley beside the dumpster with what, like, are valuables. There was like 4 or
valuable
5
trash.
big glass wine bottles in them.
Yeah.
Empty. There was
empty,
no
recyclables. But like
ones.
someone threw away money.
Yeah, and like what the mystery is to me is I would assume that it's somebody that doesn't have a home that was pushing this cart, and they were collecting these, and then they forgot them. But nothing else was left behind. Nope. Nothing else. Just
the shopping cart with the 5 empty bottles.
So we really haven't solved anything with this mystery.
But what else do we know? So we have now been in this house maybe 20 days since we took possession.
Sure.
Ish 20 days since we took possession. And in the back alley, on more than one occasion when we've been working in the garage, we have had vagabonds pass by, right? People who look like maybe they don't have a house in the area, passing through, could potentially be homeless. So it could be one of their shopping carts.
It could be, but like, why leave? There's like $1 in there, at least.
Not sure. Where's the closest recycling depot? Maybe it's just too far.
Jasper?
Right. Maybe the story is the cart was coming from further away, and it just wasn't worth it anymore.
I kind of think that they left it there, hid it behind the dumpster in hopes of coming back for it, but now we've put it in your garage.
I didn't put it in the garage.
Nor did I. I kind of just kept walking around it all day.
It is in the garage now, though. Perhaps we should put it back.
Yeah, like I feel like they've come back and they're like, oh,
somebody stole my shopping cart. It was us.
Nonetheless, I think we should put it back out and somebody can take the bottles who
we will put it back
out. Maybe what we should do. I have something that we can do. We can take the trash left behind, in our eyes, trash. Although the shopping cart is like kind of sick because it's little, but not very many people have a use for a shopping cart, except for all the pop bottles and cans that we have that we've just been throwing on your floor.
We have been.
Let's put them in the shopping cart.
Let's contribute.
Fill it and put it in the back alley.
This is perfect.
And then somebody can just have it.
This is perfect.
Somebody who needs it can have it. I feel like it's a great idea.
We're getting rid of our trash, and it will be someone else's treasure.
Trash to treasure, and
trash to treasure.
We kind of solved the mystery, but we didn't at all.
We did. I think we did.
We improved.
I think whoever takes it left it.
Yep.
Mystery solved.
We Sherlock Holmes, that's for sure.
Yeah, we did. I'm Watson.
I'm Sherlock.
Yeah,
that's definitely a compliment. Thank you. So that leads us to our next segment, I suppose. Speaking of trash bins, we're gonna have a full segment just on this week's trash bin. So trash bin is going to be our segment on which upon we air our grievances, such as pet peeves, annoyances, or things that are metaphorically or literally should just be thrown in the absolute trash.
Yes.
So Sharon, do you have one this week? Because I know I do.
Oh, this week, just from this week, what would be my trash bin? You know what? It's got to be people not parking in their parking spots for me this week.
Ooh, spicy.
So to get around, I'm using a knee scooter because crutching is hard. And so I have a knee scooter and I've been keeping it in the back seat so I don't have to crutch so far to it. 3 times in the last 2 days, I have parked, and I purposely park a little bit closer to the one line so I have a little bit of space. But 3 times in the last week, people have parked over the line in my parking spot and I cannot get my scooter in or out.
Rude.
And if I can't get it out, I can just get a different parking spot. But twice, I was coming out from the store, and I had no way to get my scooter in. So then I had to get in the car, move the car, and then crutch back to my scooter and scoot my scooter to the car. So it's like, there are lines. Just stay within your lines. I just don't think it's that hard. Literal lines.
You know what, though? Home Depot doesn't have lines right now, and that's not okay.
It wasn't at Home Depot.
Oh.
But it was both those times are like congested parking lots. One was Winners, right? And so that parking lot's already congested because generally if I can park far enough away, I don't care because I can scoot to wherever. But it was really frustrating. And one of the frustrating things today is the person who parked too close to me watched me take my scooter out.
Ooh.
Like they had to wait for me to get my scooter out and scoot away before they could park next to me, and still parked over the line.
Oh, that's a trash human.
That's
that is
trash
the
human.
Definition of a trash human.
Yeah. So my pet peeve is stay in your parking lot, not lot. Parking lane.
Spot.
Parking lane. Stay in your spot. Know your place. Stay in it. What about you?
My pet peeve also has to do with vehicles. So I was on my way to work this morning, and I'm generally not in a great mood in the morning because I'm just waking up and groggy near my time. So I'm turning left to go onto Circle Drive, and somebody is merging on as well. So they merge onto the freeway, and then they merge into the fast lane or whatever. And as they're turning into the freeway, no signal light. How hard is it to turn on a blinker? And I'm like, okay, whatever, you're just merging. You're just merging. Everybody knows you're coming in there. That's whatever. I'm going to let that one go. But then to boot, they then go to the fast lane.
No signal.
No blinker.
It's just not hard. Like you turn the wheel and you hit the blinker on the way.
I can't read your mind. It's busy. You don't own the road. All I ask is for you to turn the blinker on. That's it. That's it. Done.
Yeah, it's not a difficult ask.
So those people can go right in the trash bin.
Right in the trash bin.
And if you're one of those people,
you're trash.
Well, then suck it.
Yeah, you're a trash human.
Yeah.
Signal.
All I want is some signaling.
Right? So trash bin this week. Car related. Signal. Stay in your spot.
That's it. Those are easy things to do to make the world a better place.
Make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, our last segment before we have to go here, because somebody's doing work in the background and probably wants us to zip it, is dumpster diving.
Dumpster diving. So again, this one has both literal and figurative.
Yeah.
So there will be episodes when we talked about we have a specialist we'll have, and we may even take you on a dumpster dive.
Yeah.
Could be a thing on location.
Live on location.
But there's also the figurative one, right? So dumpster diving is like when you find a gem, but like it's a twist of a gem.
Okay, so what would this week's twist of a gem be?
Do you have one for this week?
Well,
dumpster diving.
No. Twist of a gem.
Okay, well, I can tell you a story.
Oh, love stories.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story.
Do you have the story? Or
I've got the story. I've got the story.
I thought you were just stalling time there.
No, I'm not. I think this fits in dumpster diving. We'll see. But, okay, so as you know, we bought this house. There's a lot of work to be done to it.
Just a little bit.
Every room. But we, upon taking possession of the house, did kind of check out some nooks and crannies and found a, little pouch in the rafters. And this house, from our neighbors, we have learned that maybe there were some unfavorables that lived in this house.
Yeah, they partook in not legal activities.
Yes, very
substances
illegal.
That could be consumed and put you in different spaces.
Yeah.
Or places.
Spaces and places, maybe.
Yeah.
And so anyways, it's like day 2 and we find this little pouch up in the rafters and we're like, oh, and I thought we probably shouldn't open that. But you know what we did? Not only did we open it, we filmed it. And so it's this little pouch, it has a zipper and it says Phillips on it. Kind of like a little shaving kit thing. And we're like, wow, for sure it's drugs. 100% it's got to be, right? We open it up and lo and behold inside, there's a brand new Phillips shaver.
So why do you think they were hiding the Phillips shaver?
Well, I didn't actually have a theory. I just laughed a lot and no idea. But then a theory was proposed to me, which I think is correct. Sometimes when you live in a house where said behaviors cost money, you often pawn nice things to get the money to do those things. And so somebody probably bought this and didn't want it pawned and then hid it and forgot about it. So
bet you they're sad now.
They probably are sad now.
What did you do with the razor?
I believe we put it back in the rafter. I think it's back in the rafter.
I hope whoever buys this house in several years from now finds that and goes, And
Wonder
I
what this is.
also hope that they question whether you're a good person or not.
Right?
You're
Based
an
on
unfavorable or not.
Oh, right now my neighbors think I'm very favorable, but we'll see.
Little do they know.
Little do they know.
All right, well, I think
Trash or
that's
treasure.
Trash or treasure. That's it for episode 1.
Yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram if
Like,
you're not.
subscribe.
We're going to post some behind the scenes photos of our first podcast. I took some while we were getting ready.
Yeah.
And yeah, and maybe a sneak peek for our next one.
Yeah. So,
or maybe none of those things.
Or none of those things. Maybe this is the only one we ever do.
It might be a one and done.
Yeah, this is a whole new platform for me, and I'm struggling a little bit. So I will also take suggestions.
Yes, if you have any topics you want, you can submit questions.
Yeah, but don't be a butthole.
Yeah,
Nobody likes
don't be
mean
trash.
comments.
We
don't
want
be trash.
Don't be trash.
We'll throw those right in the trash.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, well, till next time.
Till next time.
Peace.